right, welcome everyone. Let me just say a few things up front. This to many people is summer is a time when they think things slow down, but at Department of Education, nothing ever slows down. The summer is a time for a huge summer school effort and enrichment efforts, and of course preparing for the new school year, which is just weeks away. So they used to say the city never sleeps, the DOE never sleeps. And I want to thank the Chancellor, who we'll hear from in a moment, for all of her leadership, and First Deputy Mayor Tony Shorris, thank you for your leadership, and everyone here from City Hall and from DOE for the achievements of this last school year, which were extraordinary. I want to just talk about our equity and excellence vision, which is governing over all we are doing. This is something that I want to emphasize is not only the summary of things that the Chancellor and I have both felt very, very strongly about for years and years, she in her work as an educator, me as a parent, including in the time we worked together years ago in District 15, but it really, to me, was the sum total of conversations I had had with parents over the last 15, 20 years in terms of what they were feeling about their child's education, what they were looking for in their school system, and the things that they didn't see change that they wanted to see change. And that coming together of all those strands led to the equity and excellence vision. And it is working. We now have a few years under our belt, and we know this is a vision that works in practice. Graduation rates higher than ever, dropout rates lower than ever. And in Queens, we've seen some particular progress. I'm really having a wonderful experience during Queens Week, talking to people from all over Queens, hearing about what they care about, and I'm getting some great feedback about our schools here in Queens. We, at the beginning of this administration, said we were going to do a lot of things to change the schools. The first, of course, was pre-K. The numbers in Queens are astounding. There are 5 times as many kids in Queens enrolled in full-day pre-K compared to just 4 years ago. Couldn't be prouder than that of that fact. It's just an astounding quick growth. 5 times as many kids in Queens, now well over 20,000 kids in Queens getting full-day pre-K. And it's the biggest growth in pre-K enrollment of any borough. So Queens has led the way in the changes we're making, and AP for All, another big initiative, advanced placement courses in all of our public high schools. In Queens, we're already seeing the impact of the changes so far. We have 10% more students who have passed advanced placement exams than just a few years ago. So the rate of improvement is the highest of any borough. We see AP for All having a real impact here. And we have some good news about what's coming up in September. We'll be adding advanced placement courses to 20 more Queens high schools. And on top of that, another announcement we made not so long ago, we made it in Queens, in fact, was our expansion of physical education space and capacity in a lot of schools, including schools that have never had any. 16 more schools in Queens will be getting physical education space and instructors for the first time. And there's 22 more schools where we'll be adding bilingual programs. So a lot of big changes happening in Queens that are going to help us serve the children of Queens better. And it comes down to the great work that the Department of Education is doing and the great leadership that Chancellor Farina has provided. And Chancellor, I welcome your comments.
Oh, well, thank you. It's really been wonderful being in Queens this week, and as the mayor said, summer is not a slow time for us. It's a very busy time. So just in the last two and a half days, it seems like forever, I've attended an assistant principal's summer workshop of 2 days where over 300 principals, APs, volunteered to be trained, particularly in how to work with special ed kids and English language learners, and also how to provide enrichment and gifted programs to kids across their school. And that was particularly well attended. It was being held at LaGuardia. We took a little break and left Queens and came back. The other new thing that I did actually in Queens is I met with all the principals who are going to be first-year principals in September and some who were second-year principals who wanted a refresher course to talk about what their particular challenges are, what are some of the things we expect to see this year, particularly in terms of more parent engagement. And also one of the things I'm really focusing on is how do we make teaching look like fun, so we get the Future Teachers of America on board, so getting more future teachers clubs, particularly in our high schools. I also attended a workshop for teachers who are new to our social studies passport curriculum. Over 2,000 teachers that we will be training over the course of the summer in social studies, and they were very excited, and they are also taking a week-long course. We have literacy coaches being trained even as we speak, and they are going to a 3-week intensive training program, so we really are working very hard. But the highlight of this week was a Summer in the City program I attended at PS 120 here in Queens and Flushing. And what many people may not realize, that our summer program is the same in whatever school you are in the city of New York. And it's called Lit Camp, and it's really a literacy program that is focused as if you were in camp for the summer. So it incorporates lots of songs, lots of singing, lots of phys ed, and obviously lots of literacy. And the literacy is culturally relevant, so the book I was supposed to read, but I got so busy talking about it that I forgot to read it. It's called The Red Lollipop, and it's particularly significant in a borough like Queens because it's about what happens when an Indian family gets invited to a birthday party where in their culture they don't have birthday parties quite the same way, and the discussion that takes place in the family. And in this particular school at 120, they actually have a family institute 3 days a week where parents come in to work with each other and share their cultural values. And I suggested that they take on board the same books that the kids are reading. But what was very interesting as part of this Summer Lit program, every teacher has been asked to put together a campfire. So you actually had this fake logs and flames, and the only thing that was missing was the s'mores. So I promised to send the school. I already purchased all the Hershey bars and everything to send to the school so they can have s'mores, obviously without putting them over the fire.
You're saying s'mores with a New York City
Okay,
accent.
I'm sorry. S'mores.
It's like s'mores
S'mores,
everywhere else,
s'mores.
with s'mores here.
And the other thing about this program, which the principal was very clear in stating, is that the teachers are very excited. They thought it would be, we have a longer day in the summer program. It goes till 2 o'clock, and then they have a wraparound. And principals all are telling me around the city that it flies. The day flies because the curriculum is so well written out, and there is so much diversity in what the curriculum looks like. The teachers say, oh my God, it's already time to leave. So the kids are excited. This is part of our initiative for second grade, reading on grade level. So it's been great being in Queens, and I still have more visits to do in the next 2 days.
I know you do. Okay. Thank you, everyone.